Slim running on black people time.
Sisters,
We shall not yield to tyranny.
our cause just we will prevail. The fight
Hello,
for our
Mr.
rights.
Buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this
Hello,
point,
history.
shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. Shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're a number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty. This is
It is
what
so
American
freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is brava. Brothers
Hey, I
and
was
sisters.
working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, there's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see them, man. So
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real code. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets heat over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Pain to War captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
The
Welcome to my
that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
Vocabulary up because I'm throwing out words like hubris, acquiesce, verbose. What are you going to do about the dichotomy of the nuance?
To the encampment for liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
Endures through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Our cause in doing.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say anybody that sits in that oval does not like Americans. They love the United States, though, which is the politics, but they don't love the Americans. Americans are farmers. Americans are mechanics. Americans are school teachers. Americans are mom and pop businesses.
And brave! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.
And is out with a threat to Iran, warning, in his words, the clock is ticking, adding they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. On the flight home from his China summit, the president told reporters he dismissed Iran's latest peace proposal. It comes as Iranian officials posted a series of defiant messages calling the president desperate.
70% of Americans in a new poll say President Trump is doing a bad job on the economy, the number one issue for voters, as you know. Bottom line, is it worth losing the midterms if the result is a non-nuclear Iran?
It's worth losing my job. If I had to give my job up to make sure Iran would never have a nuclear weapon, I would do it.
Would you give up the House and the Senate?
I would give up politically. The most important thing I can do with the job I've been given is to protect the American people. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but I've been this way for 20 years.
So I don't want to say we're making a fortune. You understand that? Because if I say, they're going to say, oh, he forgets about the little man, you know, with the $4 gasoline.
We pulled it off without firing a missile. We got 97% of their enriched uranium out. They were able to maintain a modest civilian nuclear program for energy. And
so you think it was working?
Well, it's not only did I think it was working, even Israeli intelligence thought it was working. Even our intelligence services thought it was working. So there's no dispute that it worked, and we didn't have to kill a whole bunch of people or shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Now,
well, there was some dispute that it didn't work.
Well,
our present president believed that it didn't work, which is why he pulled out of it.
It's not clear that he didn't believe that it didn't work. He just said it didn't work.
Worst deal of all time.
Yeah, because I did it, which is fine. That seems to be a pattern. But there was no serious independent folks who would say that it didn't work with respect to the nuclear program. Now, if your agenda was to bring about regime change in Iran, well, that wasn't the goal of the agreement. If your goal was to dismantle the Iranian military so that it couldn't cause any other problems in the region, then it didn't do that, but that wasn't the goal.
I'm just getting word of a new post by President Trump, which we will take a look at. It says, I've been asked by the Emir of Qatar and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, and the President of the United Arab Emirates. And he goes on to talk about the leadership of the Gulf states to hold off on our planned military attack on the Islamic Republic of Iran, which was scheduled for tomorrow. In that serious negotiations are now taking place, and that in their opinion, as great leaders and allies, a deal will be made which will be very acceptable to the United States as well as the countries in the Middle East and beyond. The deal will include, importantly, no nuclear weapons for Iran. Based on my respect for the above-mentioned leaders, I have instructed the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Kane, and the United States military that we will not be doing the scheduled attack of Iran tomorrow, but have further instructed them to be prepared to go forward with a full, large-scale assault of Iran at a moment's notice in the event that an acceptable deal is not reached. Thank you for your attention as the close, as he often does, from President Trump.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
It's Rippy Unfiltered.
I'm Doc. What's up?
85 Slim.
And we have a guest, Ryan. I'm going to play a video from Ryan's social media, then I'm going to have him introduce himself.
So fucking tired of white men cosplaying the apocalypse. The only fucking reason why we needed the goddamn Voting Rights Act in the first place is because of white men. I don't care that you don't fucking see the value in it. Neither did your great-grandfather. And that's the fucking reason we have it. It got passed in the fucking 60s. I am tired of it. I'm tired of fucking pretending that the motherfuckers responsible for us needing it aren't alive. They're alive, and you call them grandma. So no, white boy, I don't care what the fuck you think about the goddamn Voting Rights Act. I don't care. I don't care what any white person thinks about it at fucking all. Because the only reason we need any of this shit is because white people needed to be told in writing not to be awful. That's why. You guys don't like that part, but that's what laws are. They're telling you not to be a piece of shit. It's very weird that we have so many fucking laws surrounding race because white men won't fucking be better. They won't be better. They won't do better. It doesn't fucking matter what year it is. In the year of our Lord, 2026, we are still discussing the merits of black people fucking voting because you are not different than your fucking ancestors.
Ryan, tell people what you do and where they can find you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ryan. I am IDEF Overthink, IDEFF Overthink on basically all social media. I am a writer, I guess a content creator. I teach about anti-racism. My main goal and my main effort is to limit the effectiveness of racism in this country. And that has run into me having to talk about politics all the time because of who the president's been. So that's me. What's going on with you guys? Thanks for having me on.
For sure.
All right. Good to meet you.
For sure. So
let me throw you a follow.
Mike Johnson was in an interview and he talked about not caring about kitchen table issues and that the Iran war comes first.
So CBS News had some polling out this morning showing 76% of people are concerned. 67 say they are stressed about their own personal financial situation. You know that generally the incumbent is punished in the midterms, and people are feeling very uncertain about how they're doing personally. How do you campaign against that?
Well, this relates to the last segment. We were talking about the Strait of Hormuz. Really, all points lead back to that. Gas prices are too high because of that, and then that has an effect on how goods are transported to the grocery store and all the rest. So as soon as we get that straightened out, we will get back to the kitchen table issues, the economic issues that we put in place to make the economy grow. The Working Families Tax Cut, the big, beautiful bill, all the legislation we passed, put in pro-growth policies that will lead to bigger paychecks. We already had the largest tax refund we've had in a long, long time because of our policies. And so we're really excited, anxious for that to be resolved so that people will feel that. And I think they will before they go vote in the midterm.
All right, I want to ask you about this other legal.
So we're all Americans here. We all have to pay for groceries. So, Mr. Rippey, do you feel like kitchen table issues should come second, or do you feel like it's worth us paying more for us to be able to go to war in Iran?
Well, that depends. I mean, of course, we all voted for lower prices and gas prices, but what people don't understand is it is a lot of oil that we have here in the U.S. and in Texas in particular. But what we have is called crude oil, which we don't have the refineries to be able to refine the oil. The reason why we have to export it and then import oil over here, because other countries can use refineries, and that's when OPEC decide what the oil prices internationally. So if they just stop BSing us, they can't build more refineries, because if we can utilize the oil that we have here, oil will be real cheap. But they can't build new refineries. They haven't built one since 1975. And that's what people don't understand when it comes down to the oil prices. It's not just, okay, take all the oil from the Strait of Hormuz. It's about exporting the oil because we can't utilize it here because we don't have the refineries and the technology to be able to do it.
Rippy, you tap dance around that one, Rippy. Nah, he ain't asked you that. That ain't what he asked you.
No, but we talk about table issue, like the price of gas is like.
He said, should we get to the table issues first, or should those be second? That's why I'm curious. I want to know
my
that.
first response was, yes, the table issues are the most important because this is what we voted for. And I was just explaining the table issues here. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, people don't understand what's really going on. But of course, the table issues are most important. Like, I don't know what gas. I see it. Gas prices are high, but I don't pay for it. But I understand people are struggling with gas prices.
For sure. So this is Ma'am Dami quoting Tupac about the Iran war.
Clear my very deep opposition to this war in Iran. It is an opposition not just of a procedural nature or a political nature, but frankly of a moral nature. We are speaking about a war that has killed thousands of civilians, a war that is deeply unpopular across the city and across this country, not just because of what we are seeing it result in, but also because it is utilizing tens of billions of dollars to kill people, money that could otherwise be spent on making life easier for people across the city in this country. And the very things that I often speak about that are necessary for working class New Yorkers that we are told are impossible or unrealistic, they would cost a fraction of this tens of billions that we're seeing. And
does that frustrate you that you're watching this money, $900 million a day being spent on the war, where you have projects which cost much less that could make a huge difference? Does that frustrate you?
I think it should frustrate all of us. You know, I mean, Tupac said it decades ago. It continues to be true about the fact that we always seem to have money for war, but not to feed the poor. And that is not the way that politics should be. That is not what Americans want politics to be.
So, Doc, what's your thoughts on that, since you were saying, you know, about the table issues?
I don't really think he could. He wants to have government sanctioned grocery stores, like who determine, you know, everything. So I don't know if he's the person to really criticize any level of government, because, you know, he kind of want to run his joint like the mafia. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know if he'd be the person to get that opinion. And I think inevitably to every American, and because I'm in it for myself and I vote for what pertains to me, all those table issues are going to be most important to all Americans because we feel those the most. And sometimes the government does have to do things. I don't know if this is one of them. I wouldn't agree that this is one of them. Like, I didn't think the war in Iran was one of them, but some of them, sometimes they are going to do things that aren't advantageous for the American people at this moment. And they're just going to have to get some things done. I didn't agree with the war in Iran, so I'm not going to say this is one of them. But yeah, of course, those are the most important things. I always want to see gas go down, tax refunds increase for me, my groceries lower, everything that is better for me. I want to see it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just real. Like, anybody who get on the internet to say that anything else, they're lying. I want it fought for my country so that everything could be low. I want the VA pension to go higher. I want everything that pertains to me to get better. And everyone feels like that. But the reality is sometimes they are going to have to do things that aren't advantageous for me or any other person. And every administration does it. So I'm going to give Trump the same hard time that I'm going to give Democrats. You know what I mean? So Democrats are going to get on the internet. They're on TikTok acting like Democrats, like we were just in the greatest boost in the economy of our lives when Democrats were president. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just don't get into that. Like, both sides are going to do some things that's advantageous for me, some things that's not. This is just one of the moments where these niggas ain't working in my favor. You know what I'm saying? At the moment, I ain't lying. But you know what I'm saying? That's just real. You feel me?
So some people say that we need to hurt Iran.
So you're calling for strikes on the energy infrastructure, Senator?
I'm calling to hurt this regime. If you do the same old thing, you're going to get the same results. Hurt them more. Maybe they'll make a deal if you hurt them enough. But right now, I think they're trying to wait us out. I think they're playing games. And in the words of the president, I think they're crazy. I think he's right.
Senator, the goal of...
Ryan, what's your thoughts on the Iran war?
Why are we there?
Huh? Where are we at?
I said, why are we there?
No. I don't know.
That's the only question I have. Why are we there? Everything is getting worse. Everything is getting more expensive. All the table issues, everything that we were just talking about, all those things are getting worse. They don't take care of veterans. They say that, but then they don't when everybody gets home. So we're watching Americans get hurt. We're watching civilians on both sides. Everybody's getting, we're watching people who got nothing to do with it get blown up. My gas is going up. Your gas is going up. We're on the precipice of a recession. So basically, the inflation is outpacing the minimum wage. Why are we there? That's my opinion on it. everything seems to be getting worse, and no one can give me any reason other than it needs to get worse for why it's getting worse. That's my opinion.
Okay, so Slim, is Trump the new Sleepy Joe
of the Gaza peace plan? This includes ensuring a lasting
دولة الكويت الثابت بدعم كل مسعى يهدف إلى رفع المعاناة عن الشعب الفلسطيني الشقيق وتحقيق الأمن والاستقرار في غزة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you.
Slim, I know the right say Sleepy Joe. Now Trump falling asleep places. Trump getting up in there in age. So what's your thoughts on Trump age? Is some of this stuff that's happening, is it because Trump is losing his mind? Dementia, what you think?
Nah, you need to talk about how Asia is now getting their oil from America. 900,000 barrels have just been purchased. You need to talk about how that's basically putting America in a big situation with the deal with China. You need to bring those things up because at the end of the day, people are still brainwashed to the whole scenario. And this is why I love to get into these conversations, because you never play the clips that need to be played. You play the narrative clips that keep the narrative going. And this is why people's minds are all messed up, because at the end of the day, the reality is, yeah, you're right. It does get worse before it gets better, but you're not looking at what he's doing to make everything better. People are going to die in war. Back in the days when Biden was in office, the fucking gas prices was higher than they were today. You can go back and look it up for yourself. None of these people was coming out talking that shit back then. Everything was all good. Same thing with the illegal immigrants. When Barack was talking about it, nobody was saying nothing about it when he was saying the same thing. It's all narrative switching, man. So at the end of the day, what Doc said is prevalent, because at the end of the day, when I go abroad, what I notice is that Americans were so I just want to say privileged to everything. It's like we want instant gratification,
That's a problem.
One, we want him to fix shit tomorrow. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we don't look at the longevity of things. It's like same thing with your man Bum Donnie, whatever his name in New York, the bitch ass nigga. Why the hell are we gonna leave with the whole Tupac scenario? Why? Some dumb niggas out there like, oh, he like Tupac.
Exactly. I did a video on that.
That's basically how they get us. You know what I'm saying? So with a person doing all that, they don't even look at that as disrespect. That's disrespectful for me. Like, you don't even have to mention, just like Tupac said. Come on, bro. Like, really?
But Slim, did he fall asleep or not? That's kind of what we want to know. Is Trump falling asleep whenever he's having to go to these global meetings?
I don't know. Maybe some. I'm sure you got pictures in your phone that you be like, yo, don't post that. Don't post that. Don't post that.
But Slim, to be honest, like hold on. Before Slim started talking, he was looking just like this. I'm like, yo, is this cat sleep? You go back in
the. I'm in my phone, right? Just like this.
But my thing is, weren't these the things y'all complained about, Slim? The things that you said, I get that everybody's gonna do it, right? I know they all gonna do it.
What? No,
but these were your complaints 2 years ago. That gas was high, that everything was expensive. Democrats were putting the prices up.
They remind me.
They were the Republican voters' primary complaints, is that everything was expensive.
Anytime you hear me speak, Doc, I'm more of the adapt to the situation scenario type of dude. I don't sweat that shit. I don't allow, gas prices and food. That's been inflation. That's been going on all our lives. It's not Trump's fault.
But didn't Trump run on this though? Didn't he run on no new wars? Didn't he run on making things more affordable? Didn't he say he was going to get rid of inflation?
Wait, I thought, okay, so it's not Trump's fault that the inflation is happening, but it was Biden's fault that the inflation happened. So whose fault is the goddamn gas price?
No matter what he does, it's always going to be wrong, even if it's right. Y'all don't care. Y'all gonna find a narrative to make it wrong. I'm not sweating all that. That's just what y'all do. My point is, for me, I voted on men being men, women being women, women's rights not being taken away by dudes interfering with their sports. I voted on that shit. So that's the shit, the logical shit, that's what I fuck with.
So that's why I know all this other shit y'all talking about. I wasn't on that. I didn't care about all that. It wasn't good for me. I got a daughter. I'm looking at that other shit, chopping off PPs at the age of 12.
I respect that. I respect that. That's what you voted for. I respect that. That's what you voted for. I respect that because I got certain stuff I voted for when I vote for people. I don't vote for everything. So I agree with you. If that's what you voted for, I agree then.
All right, let me get Skeptic in here. So Skeptic, Trump now has a beef with Massey.
You're going to put him out of business tomorrow. I'm in the Oval Office, and we're in a fight against the worst congressman in the history of our country. His name is Thomas Massey. He's from Kentucky. I hope you're going to put him out of business tomorrow. He is so bad. Got an election coming up. He's running against a great guy, a great patriot, Ed Gilrain. He's fantastic. But forget that. Massey's the worst congressman in the history of our country, always voting against Republicans and good values. So get rid of Thomas Massey.
Skeptic, what's your thoughts on Trump's new beef? But he's been beefing with Massey for a minute. What's your thoughts?
I think he's deranged. And I'll also say this, civil rights, like voting to have your civil rights removed via the VAR being turned down and basically gutted, is not worth the PP conversation that you're trying to bring up. I'm sorry, but I will take my civil rights any day of the week, regardless of the conversation of undocumented immigrants that are actually paying more money into the system that they're taking out. Also being that children of immigrants and immigrants make up 46% of S&P 500 company founders. So yeah, all of the boogeymen that they sold you now really don't matter. The man is deranged. The man literally cannot keep himself alive, keep himself awake. And I don't know if you guys have seen his rampages when he goes on Truth Social and he posts a bunch of AI pictures that I think he thinks are real. He can't stay awake. He really doesn't know what he's talking about. And I really do believe that people are controlling him at this point and he's just a puppet. And I'll also say we can blame him for the prices of groceries going up because of tariffs. He was the one that implemented tariffs. He didn't have to implement tariffs. We had a genius president who was a lawyer, by the way, who landed a great agreement with Iran, the JCPOA. This idiot went back and ripped it all apart and backed out of our agreement and is now begging them to come to the same agreement and can't even get the same agreement with them. So we can blame him for the high prices in gas. He had no business dabbling in the Middle East. He had no business implementing tariffs on our allies. He had no business doing all these things and then bankrupting this country. We can tell by his history with companies, he has no idea how to financially save anything. And he's obviously doing it with this nation and he's ripping you off. As an American taxpayer, this man is making himself rich off of our tax money.
Let me play a clip for Slim because I know Slim want me to play a clip for him. Slim, here you go.
America has become morally rotten, completely sick with sin, transgenderism, same-sex marriage, opening women's locker rooms to men are just the tip of the iceberg. Why do we need to rededicate ourselves? When God sent the flood and destroyed the earth, it was because man's heart had become so evil and violent. In the news, we see unimaginable violence, rapes, murders, mass shootings. On YouTube, there's so much violence. Movies, video games are full of violence. We have an insatiable appetite for violence. And I believe this grieves the heart of God and will bring his judgment if we don't repent as a nation.
Slim, is that how you feel?
I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, I grew up in a Christian family. I mean, you know, I know about all that stuff, and that's just how it is. And you know, at the end of the day, I don't get into anybody's faith, anybody's religion. I just know what I believe. I know who he is to me, and these are the things that I do stand by, those type of values. So yeah, you know, I'm cool with a day of prayer. I mean, even in Africa, bro, and that's why I say, you know, going abroad really put me in a whole situation because it's like what they appreciate as opposed to what we neglect. It's crazy, man, because they actually spend time. In Eritrea, they have a time where they actually shut it down and have dinner and prayer with their family. Like the entire country does this. You know what I'm saying? And this information is crucial because over here, we would think that that's weird or that's insane or we too good for it. You know what I mean? And it's like the little things that we take for granted you'll be amazed, you know, what we're focused on. Even right now with our president, it's like no other country can do what we do. Like let's just be real. Like when it comes to making money, when it comes to just being that country, and we're willing to basically say we hate this guy so much, we would rather see him fail than to even give him the opportunity to see our country overcome all this bullshit. That's how dedicated we are to hating this motherfucker as opposed to loving our country. And I think it's the most sickening thing ever because it's unprecedented. You've never seen this shit before. You know what I mean? I'm an OG. Like I come from the times, like I told you guys before. You sit your ass in that birth during voting booth, you close the curtain, you do your thing, you get the hell up, you go back to work. Nobody asked you who you voted for, nobody cared. And you went on with your life.
So Slim brought up China. So people are saying they intentionally made Trump look shorter than Xi Jinping, however you say his name. I'm gonna play it, and all of us will say if we think it was disrespectful. So y'all see the height on the chair? Mr. Rippey, do you feel like that was intentional for them to make Trump look shorter? Oh, you muted. Oh, you gotta fix your mic. Doc, do you think it was intentional?
Yeah, I think it was intentional, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Doc. I
think it's intentional, but I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. If this is the outright leader of this country, we trying to make him. I don't care if Yao Ming walk in here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have Yao Ming shake his hand two steps down. You feel me?
But then they roll out the red carpet too, though, and then the soldiers salute and everything like that. But when it came down to Obama, they made him get out the back of the plane. He should have got no. They did back in 2016. He should have got back on that plane and said, "I'm out," because they disrespected the president of the United States, and he still fell for it. That's my problem with him.
I don't have no problem with a country trying to portray their leader in a favorable light, whether that's his height or something like it is at no disrespect to Trump. I don't see that at no disrespect to Trump. So I think if they just want to portray their leader in a good light and make him seem like he's larger than life, that's what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect in that.
I'm gonna play another clip.
Real quick. I just want to say that's what my whole point. That's what they focus on. The fact that he's sitting down with this dude is more bigger than the fact who's shorter or who's taller. The fact that he's sitting down with this leader from China, which we never thought would happen. I don't give a damn what president was in office. That part is more powerful. Fuck who's shorter. Fuck that. Next. I'm good.
So I'm gonna show this. Was this disrespectful? So that was Trump's Treasury Secretary. Ryan, was it disrespectful?
What just happened?
He didn't have his credentials on. So they made him turn back around and get.
He didn't have his credentials on.
Yeah.
I think us even talking about it as Patty. That feels like a security mistake. I feel like an intern needs to get yelled at. I think at the heights of stuff, I don't think they're thinking like that. Like, I think a lot of this is petty. Like, Doc, I think you're right. I think that chair is probably a little shorter because the second chair is always a little shorter because they just try to make their guy look like he's bigger. And also, Trump kind of slouch. It didn't even really look like they were that different. But Slim, I see your point when you're saying it feels like that's supposed to be the focus. Like, we're kind of focusing on the frivolous part of it. Of this thing. Like, yeah, sure, they didn't let him in the building because they went back and forth over a badge, because honestly it's probably some intern didn't clip it to his to his shirt
Well, you
or
know why
whatever.
they didn't
Like
let him in?
that guy
You know
didn't
why-
even know what it was. They
You
were
know why
asking
he
him
needs
for it. He's
badge,
like, I don't
Ryan?
know, a badge.
You know why he need his
Yeah,
badge, Ryan?
I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff that we think is like 4D chess or like them being disrespectful to each other, I think we could chalk it up to like incompetence. I think most of the time it's like someone made a mistake or whatever, and it wasn't personal, but it just came across as a negative thing that impacted whoever. But I don't think these guys are even that smart to think of trying to to insult each other on that level. I don't think they think like that. I think they would rather smack each other in the face. Like, I think if they were trying to be disrespectful to each other, it would be so obvious because they're both people with big personalities that want you to know that they did it. They wouldn't do something covert. They want it in your face. Everything Trump does, he does right in their face. I don't think this guy's, I don't think they're trying to be disrespectful or anything. I think a bunch of people made mistakes.
Skeptic, so you're the last one. Was China disrespecting Trump?
I mean, I think there's a possibility that they could, but I don't think that the U.S. can speak on disrespect the way they treated Zelensky when they literally sat there and mocked him because he was wasn't wearing a suit while his nation was literally being bombed and people were dying. So I think when it comes to respect, miss me with it. From the Trump administration, I don't want to hear anything about respect. They're the most disrespectful, unqualified idiots that are running this nation. So if they were disrespectful to them, kudos to you for jabbing at them. Kudos to making them look incompetent the way that they are.
Hey, don't forget he came back with a suit on.
Yeah, Skeptic, then we have to blow up China. Skeptic, you don't want that, you live here.
Well, and here's the thing about it. I
This is
think
silly.
I don't know if people know, but we normally do not have issues with China. We have been working together with China. China is a superpower. So I think like to say that this is like, a new thing that the US president is meeting with China is not true. I will tell you what's new though. What's new is that the US is up for sale and that you can bribe this president to do you favors and pay him enough or buy into his, gold phone that nobody ever got, or buy into his crypto or his whatever coin he was selling. This nation is for sale, and I do think that China wants Taiwan, and I think that they know that if they just butter this man up, they can take Taiwan and he's not going to do anything.
But Skeptic, I will argue this nation has always been for sale. We've sold a lot of bonds and we've sold a lot of our debt in this country to the country of China. And that isn't a Donald Trump thing. That's a Republican, Democrat, us as a nation. So we can't say that this country is for sale now that Trump is in office. This country has been for sale for 100 years almost, dating back probably to the 20s and the 30s. So I don't think that's just a Trump thing. I don't think he's just started that overnight. I think this country has been for sale for decades, and Democrats haven't tried to reel that in, except for maybe with the economic boom, Clinton. But many regimes have been in here, and none of them have tried to bring this country back into being at a plus rather than a minus. So
I don't disagree with that necessarily, but I do think that it's more in your face. No, I'm saying I don't necessarily disagree that there was some criminal aspect of it or that people were not following the law, but I think that it's so in our face to where even foreign nations know that it is way more deliberate. So this man is a criminal. He's a convicted felon. If you do the right things, you can get your way. Look at what happened with Putin. We were supposed to take up for Zelensky. We were supposed to ally them. But because his friendship with Putin, we really didn't do much. So I think that it kind of sets the president globally. We're supposed to be like the global police. It kind of sets the president that, hey, if you treat this man and talk to him in a certain way, he will allow you to do whatever you want to do. And the deliberate part of what his family is doing is how many contracts, federal contracts they have landed since he's been in office. They have made almost $4.7 trillion. That's how much he has increased in his wealth with his whole family. This is a criminal enterprise that we're speaking of. And you can look at the people that he's put in his cabinets that are also doing the same thing. DHS, they got proven that she had mishandled some of the funds for the Department of Homeland Security. Same thing has happened with multiple people in his administration. So it's understood that you can kind of do what you need to do and funnel out money out of this administration. No one's going to say anything.
That's every administration.
So the Drake album dropped and the White House immediately started using songs from his album.
Iceman.
Skeptic, I know you're real passionate about ICE. What's your thoughts on them using the Drake song Iceman and showing those visuals?
I think it's disgusting. And I think that if I was Drake, I would sue them. I would sue the hell out of them because I think like to make a mockery of people losing their lives and like that's my community and to see literal children. There was Kevin Gonzalez who literally had cancer. His parents were held in an ICE facility in Arizona while he literally almost unalived. So when he got to Mexico, his parents got there, he had 4 hours to kind of like catch up with his family and then he died. So like I think it's like crazy and honestly we're in 1930s Germany to think that it's funny to laugh at people that are literally losing their lives for this. Like we saw actual American citizens that were killed by ICE and we still haven't seen anybody be held accountable. There's nothing cool or funny about it.
So I'm gonna show the MAGA chain and I'm gonna get the guys to respond.
Look, when the White House is adding a little MAGA chain to your album cover, Drake. I'm saying it's a tough look. It's a tough look because you kind of are the company you keep with the Aiden Roths of the world, the Jake Paul, Logan Pauls of the world. Just saying. But there is something that Donnie Boy and Drake might have in common. Can't quite put my finger on it. Huh.
Mr. Rippey, what's your thoughts on the MAGA chain? Them using the Drake album?
I think Trump is he's a 50 Cent of politics, man. When it comes down to Trump, he knows for a fact people get so emotional. They have TDS. They just repeat the stupid narrative. They don't know the difference between a civil case and a federal case. So they always call he's been guilty of rape. He's been liable of defamation. But he knows that he can get away with this stuff. And people are going to get so emotional because TDS is real, despite the more people that try to deny it. It is real. No matter what it is, they always have a problem. I can call out Trump if I need to, and I do it often. But some people are just crazy. But I don't have a problem with it. I just think he's trolling. He know he can really get to people.
No, I got a problem with it. I got a problem with it because you stealing my branding and kind of boxing me into a side that it ain't said that I picked a side. You see what I'm saying? So you could affect someone's business based on somebody made, because there are some people who just are that I hate Republicans, I hate Trump out, that they may not give his music a try that would normally listen to it. So I don't think that you should have your politics affect someone else's business and free commerce and stuff like that. That would be my biggest problem with it. Like, especially if something just came out, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know Drake's political affiliation. You see what I'm saying? So it
won't count.
Yeah. No, that's why I fuck with you, man.
Drake is a dual citizenship. Drake's dad is from Memphis, Tennessee. Drake's mom is from Canada. Drake has dual citizenship.
Okay, so he voted? You think he voted?
I don't know if you don't know his political. That's the point. You don't know if he voted.
I'm just asking if you think he voted.
But we don't know his he don't talk politics, so we don't know if he voted. We don't know who he voted for. So that's what I'm saying. You put him in a political game, and that's not the game he's playing. I don't think that's right to do that to people. Like Nicki, if you would have did it with something with Nicki's album cover, cool. Nicki supports, Nicki's on that side. I get that, but I don't think because that's part of somebody's business, Slim. You see what I'm saying? Now you affecting somebody, how they running their business, how they doing they stuff, and you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's right to do that, Democratic or Republican.
It was cool when Drewski did what he did to Erica, though. Like
that's his business. Drewski's doing his own business. We know he's talking about Republican women. We know which side Erica's on, right? She's a Republican. Her political ideation is public. Her political ideation is public. And he didn't do it just on her. She just felt hit by it.
Jasmine Crockett did it though. Jasmine Crockett did it. The Vivek Ramaswamy do it. A lot of people do it, but I feel where you're coming from. I get it, man.
Had the same energy though. That's all I'm saying.
Ryan, what's your thoughts on it?
I feel like they thought it was gonna be cool. Like I don't think the White House thought that they were doing anything bad because I think they thought that they were talking about their buddy. Like I think, and this is something that I think a lot of people take for granted, but I think there is a certain tax bracket that you get to where who's ever in the White House needs to be your buddy. So I think they think that they're friends. Like, I mean, going back to what that guy was saying in the video, Drake has been around a bunch of, you know, Republican talking heads or right side talking heads that say that they are representative of the right. He's been in those rooms. He's been around those people. He's been on both sides, but not as much. So I don't know. He just seems to hang out with them a lot. Like, I don't know his affiliation. I don't know anything about it, but they seem like friends. Like, I think, like, as human beings, we can just look and make an assumption that, like, they have some sort of relationship. Plus, you know, the Trump campaign is literally they just do they do any trend. They don't care. There's also that. They might not even know what the hell this is. They just knew it said Iceman, and some intern thinks that it did the best job ever because ice kind of sounds like ice, you know? Get it? Iceman?
Well, for sure. But Drake, those 3 albums was trash. I listened to it. I watched it, and I heard you stole one of the songs. Did you still?
All right, so I got a story time because I just listened to Iceman and Drake. You got me fucked up, bro. Not gonna lie, you got me fucked up. So when I made the intro to my first album about a year and a half ago, Drake was hitting me up around the time and wanted to hear music, a Drake producer. So I sent 10 songs through and they was all finna be on my album because I didn't want nobody to steal my shit because I know how people move. So boom, the one they took a liking to was the intro. Now the intro still dropped. I said, no, you can't have this song. He wanted me on his album still. He said, I'm gonna send you a verse through. Never sent a verse. I didn't give a fuck till I just went and listened to Iceman and I listened to Little Birdie and then I went back and listened to the intro of my first album. Twin, that's the only beat I've ever produced and sat there and produced. Don't rip my shit and repitch it like that, fam. That's fried. That's fried out and fucked up, twin.
Who thinks Drake stole his song?
Prove it. It's really
I don't
No.
I don't know.
Drake,
This is
Drake,
all
Drake might as well
to
be a convicted felon for stealing music. Everybody say Drake steal their music.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
They do.
like it's been a big thing with him taking people's sounds and taking like their style, their delivery, even how they pitch the song on a similar beat. He might switch the beat a little. It'll be a same beat, different flow of something he doesn't normally do. So he's been like, people have said that so much. They have reference tracks of Drake from people who were making music for him, making songs for him. So do I think he might have stole White Chocolate song? Yes. Do I care? No. Was I gonna listen to it when this other dude put it out? Never. And Greasy don't do that. It's a light-skinned summer. We going up. Don't be trying to bring us down, bruh.
All right, for sure. So I'm gonna get everybody.
Come back, man. Y'all coming back.
Because we all are fans of somebody. So this guy, he was a fan. Well, he said he's not a fan, and I'm gonna play the clip, and y'all tell me is as a fan he was out of line.
What's going on, baby?
Yo, hey, babe, come here, nigga. Congratulations. I just came home 4 years ago. Yo, my nigga, dead ass? Not nigga. I'm like that, nigga. Yeah. All the way like.
Scamden, what you think?
That's crazy. And let me say, I live with a Drake fan, so that all of the albums have been on like replay, and I'm not a fan, so I trash on him all the time. And I do think that he steals music from people. But then I will also say, sometimes people will claim that other people have stolen things. Sometimes it's hard. Like songs, I used to be like do music. Like some songs kind of sound the same sometimes. Like I'll be like, hey, I've heard this before. Like I feel like there's only so much you can do. And then maybe sometimes you've heard something and then you replay it without knowing that you're playing it. But I'll say this about, it's very scary when you like people think that they know you and you don't know them. And then they come off like trying to act as if like, no, I know, like I don't know you. I've never talked to you before. Just because you've heard me talk or something, people, they kind of create this relationship with you that is not real. And it is a very scary thing, I will say.
And keep in mind, y'all gotta be a little bit lenient on Drake when it comes to this album, especially he's coming off the battle. You know what I mean? It's 3 albums of emotions, and y'all know he don't write his music. So at the end of the day, it ain't really his fault. Whoever wrote that shit, y'all need to be mad at.
It sounded like he wrote it himself.
Y'all think that dude was passing by or waiting outside for the baby?
It looked like he was waiting.
If he passing by, that's one
waiting.
thing. If you about 40, if you 40 waiting on another man to get out the car, man, you wilding, cuz you don't deserve
Especially the baby. Like what is this crap?
You don't deserve no doubt, cuz you out here waiting on a grown man to get out the car. You sitting out here, you too fanned out for me, my nigga. I ain't gonna front. I got stuff to do.
Oh, man, come on, man.
He did an interview. I'm gonna play it so y'all can hear it from him on what he actually, on how he actually felt about it.
Oh, the baby coming. So I turned around and was like, yo, what up, baby? Come here, my nigga. Like, just trying to say congratulations. Because at the end of the day, I brought this guy his music when I was doing my bid.
Right.
And the Kirk album. And that album got me through. When you into things like that, you don't, it's not no fan or not like that. It's just respect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to show the brother respect. But I'm inebriated. But at the same time, I'm not going over the roof with it because I still got a party that night. So I'm outside. So at the same time, I'm trying to show love, but his energy, you know how you can feel energy?
Well, the baby is kind of, now I don't know if you've seen
his energy
videos.
was just like, I just wanted to hook him right there.
But he be on
Ryan, what'd you think about his response?
What? I am so confused. That grown man don't owe you nothing. What you was waiting outside drinking? Yeah, you look like a dude on the side outside the club drinking and yelling at me. I'm gonna walk past you real fast. Like, I don't know how he hate from outside the club. He didn't even go in, and then he went on an interview. Why they interview the man?
Right.
Oh man! And also, was that a concert or was that was the baby just outside?
I think he was entering a venue. He was entering a venue.
He was entering a venue
for a show.
To play or just was it a? How long was this guy waiting? I'm so confused.
Also, was anybody out there?
This man was
It
waiting.
was like
way
the only
too
one
long.
out there.
That's way too wild. Nah.
I got the baby whooping his ass too, talking about he wanted to hook him. I got the baby beating him. I ain't gonna front, beating him down. He looked like he'll get beat down. You outside
in the Walmart already. The baby.
He did. You remember he shot the dude when he was in the Walmart with his baby mama, shot and killed him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man, I don't know what you're.
And he beat up the dude in Louis Vuitton. Remember the dude, Cam Coldheart? He beat him up in Louis Vuitton.
Wow.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The baby gonna beat him.
But he was saying he was in prison, so I'm gonna play one last clip. This was a prison story that went viral, so I'll play this and then we'll get into the final thoughts.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Welcome home, my nigga. You got the fresh one. The Howie.
Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old.
Hold on. Yeah, that's the dumps right there. That's what everybody wear. Look what they sent my nigga home.
It was a big world, but we thought we were bigger.
You got anything
Pushing
to say
each
to
other
the
to
people?
the
Man,
limits.
I'm
We
back.
were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. I always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about glory just always seemed to bore me. Cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told. Before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. I only see my goals, I don't believe in failure. Cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major. I got my boys with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told. I was writing about everything I saw before me. Once I was 20 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old.
If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know when we go live. Skeptic, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that there is life after you've made a mistake. And I think that we need to fund a lot of the programs so that we can help people come out of prison and learn their rights that they have, get involved again in voting or reinstate the fact that they can vote in certain states, and then become productive members of society. So I'm so happy that there's stories like that. And I will say, as far as politics, we have to continue to vote, go out there and vote during midterms. If there are local, state, or other elections, make sure that you know that you are registered to vote and don't let anyone trample on your constitutional rights.
For sure. Slim, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, man, another good show. Another good show. I gotta say, I appreciate the guests. Good points, good views, everything great. Good job today. I gotta salute you on that. But stop hating streaming right now on all platforms. About to take a trip to Nigeria to shoot the video. So hopefully this turns out right. I hate flying, but man cave.
Slim, you've been doing a good job. You guys have been telling me information I didn't know. You've been putting me up on some stuff I actually didn't know about. Ryan, what's your final thoughts? And thank you for coming. You were a great guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Thanks for the conversation. It was a great time tonight. Yeah, that last video, I love those videos. I think those are so cool. But there's so many guys that get out and that's just not their experience, and there's so many ways that we can actually intercede with those guys. And that's what I would want to remind people, is that those are beautiful stories, and I love to see those stories, and those are possibilities, but in very narrow pathways. I want to see that story 1,000 times over, you know what I mean, and not see people go back. And please, please, please don't let anybody tell you that voting is not important. Don't let anybody take something away from you that is your constitutional right. Don't let anybody try to convince you that your constitutional right doesn't matter. It absolutely does. If they're trying to trick you out of using it, it's because they know that it's important. Thank you.
Thank you again for coming. Doc, what's your final thoughts?
Man, it's dope to see a dude get out and you know what I'm saying, work it out and try to live a regular life. I got a lot of friends who have made mistakes, grew up in that system, and came home, and a lot of them were successful. Sometimes missing those early 20 years for some dudes, it's sad to say that, it set them on a path to when they get out, they have a whole different outlook on life from what we grew up from and what we was doing and what we considered as normal. A lot of these people on the panel, Slim just shouted out his his music. You guys go and listen. Skeptic makes content. Ryan said he makes content. I know Rippy makes content, Mr. Rippy Unfiltered. Give all these dudes a follow. If you want to go to their inbox and, bombard them with your opinion, sure, go ahead and do that too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't make content, so don't come in my inbox. Have a good night, man cave.
Thank you, Doc.
Mr. Rippy, what's your final thoughts?
Shout out to Ryan, man. Appreciate you coming on. I love to hear different opinions. And like they say, make sure y'all follow everybody. I know Skeptic, I just found out that she does live all the time. So if y'all want to see me go in there and school her somewhere, I'll probably be hopping on her live. No, I'm just joking. Skeptic, you the homie. You know homie.
We had a very good conversation, me and Mr. Rippy.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Yeah.
Are you doing a live after this, Skeptic?
Not today, but I am going to start going live after school ends. So school ends this week, and then I've already got all my setup going. So I'm going to start hosting political lives again.
For sure. Well, we do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be hosting all week. Have a good night. Man Cave.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of our future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
To the encampment for freedom of our future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour of our liberty is at hand now. For freedom is proud by. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's new work captures the spirit of we fight for independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. We must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, flapping!